What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. To my returning subscribers and to my new subscribers, I have this big old smile on my face because I have new subscribers. Last night I went to bed, I had 97 subscribers. I woke up this morning and I had 101. And I am so freaking ecstatic about that because y'all don't understand. When I started recording videos and started throwing things out there or whatever, like, I really didn't think anybody was going to be interested in the content that I put out. And honestly, I didn't know which lane I wanted to go in with it or whatever, but I'm a random person, so y'all gonna get random videos from me, and apparently the random videos that I give y'all love it. So welcome to my new subscribers. I am very grateful for y'all for subscribing because it's a lot of people who watch my videos who are not freaking subscribed. Do me a favor, if you see this, subscribe. It's free, it costs you nothing. If you watching it, you might as well just click subscribe. Apparently you like something about it because you watching it. Okay, sis? But to my new subscribers, for real, welcome y'all, welcome to the fam. And to my returning subscribers, hey y'all, I missed y'all. And we just gonna get right into the story time. As you can see down below, this story right here is crazy. It's funny as hell. It's funny it was funny to me when it happened. It's funny to me now. I know when people hear it, people are probably gonna be like, girl, that is not funny. But honestly, I'm not gonna sit here and say it was funny at the time. After everything played out, it was funny. But when it happened, it was a really serious situation. But yeah, and how I came about like actually telling y'all this, because this is something that I haven't talked about in a long time. But it's a video that I had seen on Instagram, and I had sent it to my homegirls or whatever, and we just thought it was so funny. We was laughing, blah blah blah. One of my homegirls like, see, this is the reason why you gotta set an alarm, and this is that and the third. I'm gonna play the clip for y'all real quick.
Falling asleep on your lunch break be like.
Oh shit! Bitch, I'm fucking fired.
As you can see in that clip, sis fell asleep on her break. Got a little too comfortable in that car and fucked around. She woke up and it was nighttime, okay? But yes, it's the same thing that happened to me, but I'm gonna break down all the details leading up to what actually happened at night. So, starting off, y'all, I was 19 years old at the time when this happened. I think I had just turned 19, and like after high school, I graduated when I was 17. After high school, I did not want to go straight into college because I'm not gonna even lie to you, I'm one of those people who hated school. I hated high school, mainly because the high school that I went to is not my high school of choice. We ended up switching the sides of town that we stayed on when I was younger because my grandparents had got sickly around this time, and my dad wanted to be closer to his parents just in case anything happened to them. So we ended up moving closer to my grandparents from where I actually grew up at. And honestly, the school that I went to was not my school of choice, but you know, wherever your parents go, you go, and you really don't have no say so. Most kids don't have no say so. Some kids they do, but me, I didn't. So I freaking hated school. Once school was done, I did not want to go back, at least no time soon. So right after high school, I went straight into the workforce. So I was trying to figure out what it is that I wanted to do because I knew I did not want to do the typical things that a teenager does. I did not want to go to fast food. I did not want to work in retail. I didn't want to work those regular jobs when I was younger. Let's just sum it all up. And my dad, he has done security for many years, and one of my brothers, they have done security for many years. And since they have done security, my dad has worked for a certain company. My brother got into it, he started working for the same company or whatever. My dad no longer worked for the company around the time I was interested in it, but I was just like, I reached out to my brother. I even told my dad, because he was like, I'm gonna put in a word for you and see if somebody hit me back. So my dad put in a good word for me with the supervisor, and then since my brother was still working there or whatever, my brother was just like, hey, I'll talk to him or whatever, see if we can skip some of these processes so you can go ahead and get you a job. So filled out the app or whatever and turned in my applications to the guys that they knew. And my brother was telling me, like, off rip, look, since you just coming in and you knew, he was like, a lot of the new people, they don't get the day shifts. Like, the day shifts get pushed to the people who have seniority in the company. So people who've been there for 3, 4, or 5 years or whatever, they're gonna get the day shift before I get it, because I just started. So basically I'll be working a night shift, something that I did not want to do. For one, I'm fresh into working or whatever. I'm not trying to work no night shift. I don't want to be up all night. Like, the human body is not supposed to be up at night, at least that many hours to me. Even though I work a night shift now, I still have that same mentality. The human body should not be up those amount of hours overnight like that. It just shouldn't be like that. Anyways, I was telling my, like, man, I don't want to work a night shift. I don't want to do that. Like, that's not cool, bro. Like, can you try to, you know what I'm saying, pull some strings for me or whatever the case may be? He was like, I'm gonna see what I can do, but I'm just letting you know, you just might get a night shift. So he talked to his supervisor or whatever. Supervisor, he had reached out to him. He was like, hey, he was like, I know you don't want to work a night shift or whatever. He's like, I do have 1 day shift, but the only thing is, it's not close to your area. It's gonna be kind of far out. And so I was like, okay, where is it? He told me it's gonna be in League City. If you from Houston or whatever, from Houston, Texas, you would know that League City is quite a distance. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think League City is like 45-minute drive, if I'm not mistaken. I think, I don't know. He said it's gonna be out in League City or whatever. And I was like, at that time, you know what I'm saying, I'm kid free. I don't have no real responsibilities or whatever outside of just me. So I was just like, shit, I'll drive out there. I had my own car at the time. I was like, shit, I'll drive out there. It don't matter, as long as I can get me a day shift. Cause I ain't nobody trying to work no nights. I'm not trying to work no nights, okay? I'm not trying to do that. So anyway, he gives me the shift or whatever. I rise out to League City. I'm working at a sports authority. I don't know if everybody is familiar with sports authorities, because I know that the people, some of y'all who watch my videos aren't from Houston, Texas or whatever. I don't know if they have them everywhere. Sports authorities are just like academies. Academies are sporting goods stores. They sell baseball cleats, they sell basketballs, they sell Nike gear, Adidas gear, you know, bicycles, hockey sticks, hockey pucks, stuff like that. So I was like, okay, cool. The only thing what I was really responsible for was just stand at the door, you know what I'm saying, walk around the store a few times, whatever, just to make sure ain't nobody stealing, you know what I'm saying, make sure there ain't no funny business going on or whatever. I was like, that's simple. Can't sit down, but I was like, that's simple or whatever. And then sometimes, you know, I have to step outside, kind of look around in the parking lot or whatever, you know, watching people in the parking lot, whatever. Anything pop off, I'm supposed to make sure that I get in contact with the proper authorities or whatever, get in contact with my supervisor, and then I'm supposed to follow protocol. With whatever happens in the store, whatever, I'm supposed to follow proper protocol. Okay, so on one day while I'm at work, one interesting day, we just gonna put it like that, it was an interesting day. So I'm at work or whatever, minding my business. It's like in the middle of the week, so it's really not that many people in there, but it's still quite a few customers. You know what I'm saying? You got some people sitting in line, you got the people that's checking them out, whatever, and then, you know what I'm saying, you just got the employees. So I'm sitting there minding my business or whatever. I'm at the front of the store. Out of nowhere, you hear 2 loud ass pow, pow, and like, I'm like, bruh, them sound like gunshots. In my mind, those were gunshots, okay? So that security stuff went right out the window. Like, that security stuff went right out the window. Because this is what I did. Baby, the way that the store was set up, they have 2 sets of doors or whatever at the sports authority. The first set is when you get out of your car and you walk into the building or whatever, walk into the store, is the 1 set of sliding doors. Then they have a foyer right there where they have like their hand baskets and their regular pushing baskets. And then it's the second set of doors. It's right there. It opens up to the actual store. Baby, when I heard them two pops, my happy butt forgot that I was even a security guard for the store. I forgot. That top flight went flying smooth out there. I was, baby, I ran. But like it was like literally seconds. I heard the pop, pop, and as soon as I heard it or whatever, baby, I was out the door, sis. I was out of the freaking door. I was right there in the, like, when everybody looked up trying to see what was going on or whatever, I was right there in the little foyer where the baskets were. Like, I was like ducking behind the basket. And so everybody like looking at me like, everybody looking at me like, and like in my mind, I'm just thinking to myself like, what the hell you looking at? And I'm like, oh shit, girl, you the security guard. Like, they looking at you like, ma'am, what's the next step? Like, are you gonna protect us or not? Are you gonna see what's going on, or are you gonna call the cops? What you gonna do? Whatever. And so I was just like, oh shit, I am the security guard. Like, let me snap back into it. And I'm gonna give her a name. We're gonna call her Samantha. She was the supervisor of the store. So I walked from the foyer or whatever while everybody looking at me all crazy and everything, and she looking at me. She walks over from the cash register. She was looking at me. She was just like, so you're not gonna go see what that is? And I was just like, what I look like walking into the danger? Like, make it make sense to me. Like, sis, the math is not mathing. Who walks into the danger? This ain't no scary movie. You don't go try to go investigate to see what's going on. You try to get away from the danger. She wanted me to go back there to see what it was. And I'm just like, bruh, if it's real gunshots, I'm not walking back there. Like, first of all, I'm just a regular security guard. I'm not carrying a gun. I'm young as, I'm young as hell. I'm a female. Around that time, I'm like real slim, real skinny or whatever. Like, if it's something that's going on back there, like, what am I going to do? And what you're not gonna do is tell me to go back there. If anything, you could go back there, sis. But what I'm finna do is I'm finna call 911 like my supervisor told me, and then I'm finna call my supervisor and let him know, hey, we got a situation up here. And the protocol, what was supposed to happen, if I'm not mistaken, it was so long ago. I think with things like that, I think it's like a code black or a code brown or something like that. The supervisor is supposed to, well, the manager of the store, she's supposed to get on the intercom, say code blue, code black or code brown, or I can't remember what it was. It's one of them colors, and that's supposed to let everyone in the store know that it's an active shooter in the store, whatever, and there are designated areas in the store where the employees are supposed to go, and then we're supposed to call 911, and then I'm supposed to contact my supervisor. So basically at this moment, I'm standing at the front door with Samantha, and we going back and forth about her trying to get me to go back there or whatever. It's like we low-key forgot that it was noises coming from the back. It's two pops and it came from the back of the store. Everybody just standing around. You got customers standing around, you got employees standing around or whatever. If there is an active shooter, we are all dead because of freaking Samantha. She is in my face trying to get me to go back there, and I'm trying to get her to get on the intercom and let everybody know it's a code brown going on, code black, whatever you want to call it. Sis, do your job so we can get people to where they need to get to or whatever. I'm not going back there, and I need to get on the line and let 911 know, hey, we got a problem. She's arguing with me at the front door, trying to get me to go back there. One of the employees had came over and told her, like, look, we're not gonna go back there and check and see what was going on. We need to figure out what we're gonna do with these employees and with these customers. I just told everybody, I said, do me a favor. I said, since she's not doing what she needs to do, everybody just outside. Everybody outside. Now I'm starting to take charge because she's tripping with herself. I was like, everybody outside. Everybody outside. We gets on the intercom, or she gets on the intercom while everybody is walking outside talking about it's a code black. We all outside now, bitch. We all outside. And you still inside the store. At this point, it's no saving her. You know, in them scary movies or whatever, when it's one white girl who want to go run to the danger or whatever, and you can't tell her nothing, she just thinks she just know it all or whatever, and that's the first one that get her head chopped off. That's Samantha. At this time, I don't know how League City is now or whatever. I haven't been out there in a very, very long time. And around this time when I was working out there, it's a very nice area. And the sports authority that I worked at was on a shopping strip. Very, very nice area or whatever. So honestly, like, the cops got there in no time, because we already know in urban areas it takes forever for a cop to pull up, and we just gonna call a thing. But anyway, so the cops, they pull up or whatever, they run up in there trying to see what's going on. They pull up and we automatically tell them, hey, we heard 2 pops on the back of the store, we don't know what's going on. The manager is still in there. I had got everybody out, but she's still in there. So they got guns drawn, they walking inside the store or whatever. My supervisor, I could see him pulling down the parking lot or whatever in a company car. He's coming, and he pulled up on me, and he had actually called my brother too, because he was just like, hey, your sister's at a store and there's supposed to be an active shooting going on or whatever. My brother was just like, okay, cool, I'm on my way, because my brother was on his post as well. So they coming, I see them coming. He pull up, I tell them what's going on or whatever. Police out, while I'm explaining to my brother and to my supervisor what's going on, police come outside. Y'all gonna laugh. Police come outside and say, the 2 pops that y'all heard from the back of the store were some bicycle tires that popped. I don't know if you ever heard of a bicycle tire pop. It does sound like a gunshot. I've heard them before, but it does sound like a gunshot. They said there's nobody in the store. We checked everything around the store, whatever, everything is fine. So if any of the customers would like to go back in the store and continue shopping, they can. All the employees, y'all can return back to work. So the cops was asking me like, hey, when all of this started, because the lady was in there telling them, talking about I was standing there and I wasn't doing nothing or whatever. Baby, when the police officers pulled up, everybody would have still been in the store standing around like deers and headlights if it was for her. If it was an active shooter in there, everybody be boom pow dead, because she in there trying to argue with me and trying to tell me how to do my job. So anyways, I told them what I heard or whatever. I told them what happened or whatever. I told them that I escorted everybody out to the parking lot or whatever, and then I called y'all. And some of the customers, they actually got in their cars and pulled off. Some of the customers, they actually stayed. Here she come out in the parking lot. I just said, I just know she not gonna come out here and act her color in front of my supervisor. And what she did, came out in that parking lot and acted her color in front of my supervisor. She tells him, talking about the 2 pops happened or whatever. I got scared, I ran or whatever. I left everybody inside the building. Baby, not one time did I leave out the store. I was still in the store, even though I did run. Even though I did run, not one time did I leave out the store. And then when I realized, when I had shook back into reality, I realized, and I was like, I need to get them out of this store just in case it is an active shooter. Mind you, I ain't gotta save nobody, because at the end of the day, F this job, F this uniform, and F all y'all. I got my keys hooked on my belt, baby. I can book it to the car and go about my business. I don't care. Like, I don't care. But I was just like, I snapped back into it, and I was just like, I need to get them out of the store. She came out there. She was just like, she heard the 2 pops and she ran outside, and she didn't even try to get us to safety, and da-da-da-da, just going off. Let me give you a little backstory on Miss Samantha, because Miss Samantha ain't no angel. Miss Samantha did not like me. Miss Samantha had it out for me the moment that I came to that store. Miss Samantha did not want me there. Mind you, it has been 2 security guards that has been at that post before me from my company, and she ran both of them off. One of them actually cussed her out and lost their job. Let me tell you how sis was. Before this whole incident had occurred, I would come to work. Samantha would try to get me to take trash out. Samantha would try to get me to leave my post and to go show customers to certain items in the store. I had to tell her one time, I was like, Miss Samantha, I do not work here. I am not your employee. I was hired by the security company to come here and to secure the premises. I did not get hired on to come be no sports authority employee. I'm not supposed to be walking around showing Susie mama where the basketball cleats at. I'm not supposed to be leaving my post showing Johnny daddy where the baseball bat's at. That's what you got employees for. And if your employees are busy, you do it. And I even told her one time, I said, I don't work here, you do it. And she got mad when I told her, I said, I don't work here, you do it. And she decided that she wanted to call my supervisor and tell him that I was being rude to her, and told him that I told her that I wasn't going to do my job. I was just going to do what I wanted to do. Sis, that's not what happened. She said that I asked her to go do something, and she told me no. She said that's not in her job description, and you fucking right. It's not in my job description to take no trash out. What I look like?
I look like a damn snitch.
I have on a security uniform. I'm here to secure the premises. I'm not no damn janitor. You are not my boss. She wanted me to take out trash. She wanted me to help the customers. She wanted me to help customers out to their car. What part of I'm not supposed to leave my post don't this lady understand? Like, what part of that does she not understand? And then, like, the company that I work for, I had to log my hours in order for me to get paid. So, like, when I show up, I'm supposed to sign my name, write the time that I came or whatever. Then I'm supposed to sign out, write the time that I'm leaving or whatever. It's been a couple times where, you know what I'm saying, I showed up whatever a little late or whatever, but never not one time did I say, oh, I'm supposed to be here at 9 in the morning or whatever, but I really got here at 9:15, but I'm still gonna put 9. Not one time. I always put my true time on there, my true time. But she's the one, keep this in your mind, she's the one who told me, hey, don't worry about being late. She said just put 9 on there anyway. My young ass, I'm just like, oh shit, Samantha looking out for me. I ain't, you know what I'm saying? Cause me coming to work late can't get me in trouble. She looking out for me, girl. She was all on the phone telling my supervisor, oh, she logging in the wrong hour, she coming to work late or whatever, and she put that she got here at 9 instead of 9:15. You mother girl, baby, I wanted Samantha head. I wanted Samantha head so bad. I wanted to smack the dog crap out of this woman on several occasions. But baby, she showed her butt that day when them little pops happened. She showed her butt. She came out there and she was just going in on me, telling him how I ran and I didn't follow protocol and da-da-da-da, even though she was the one who didn't follow protocol, whatever. So instead of letting me go, my supervisor, he was just like, I'm gonna go ahead and send you home right now. In my mind, I thought he was going to fire me, but he was like, I'm gonna go ahead and send you home because it was well before it's time for me to clock out. He's like, I'll call you later or whatever, and he was just like, we'll discuss this later. But he was like, right now, just go ahead, head home. My brother was just like, he's like, don't worry about it. He's like, I'm gonna talk to him or whatever. He's like, he's not gonna let you go. He's not gonna fire you. Don't worry about it. He's like, I'm gonna talk to him. Don't worry about it. So go home or whatever. He actually calls me that night and he was like, hey, he was like, I'm gonna give you 2 days off or whatever, and he was like, I'm trying to find you a new post. I'm not gonna send you back to the sports authority. Oh Lord, thank you Jesus, because I thought he was gonna fucking fire me. And I was just like, I said, I'm glad that I'm leaving from out there anyway, because I'm tired of that lady harassing me or whatever. He's like, oh, don't worry about her. He was just like, you like the 3rd person she didn't ran off, so don't worry about her. And so I was like, okay, cool. He said, I'm gonna call you in 2 days or whatever. He's like, I'm gonna give you a new post. Okay, cool. So this man calls me, gives me a new post. My new post is overnight. I told y'all I didn't want to do overnight. Not only is my post overnight, it's all over on the north side. If you from Houston, you know north side is far as hell. Depending on what part of the north side, because just going to the north side is already a 40 to 45 minute drive. And then depending on what part you're getting sent to, it could be an hour and a half drive. But I was like, okay, cool. At the time, I was just like, bro, I want my check. I want my little coins. I want my money. I don't want to be broke. Even though I didn't have no bills, I was like, I still want my coins. Because when you 19 and you young, you know what I'm saying, you want to go out and have fun with your friends. You know what I'm saying? You want to go out and kick it with whoever you date. And you want to make sure that you have money for your nails. You want to make sure you have money for your toes, your hair. You know what I'm saying? Your little cute outfit when you go out. You know what I'm saying? You just want to make sure that you have some cash in your pocket. And that was another reason why I did not want to do retail or fast food, because like I didn't want just a regular job paying me some little BS checks or whatever. I really did want a decent check, even though I was just 19 and didn't have no bills. My security job was paying me I think like $10 an hour or whatever. And at that time, around that time when I was 19 or whatever, $10 an hour is a lot of money or whatever, especially if you working a full-time schedule. That's a lot of money. $10 an hour now ain't nothing, but back then it was. Actually, I started off at $9.50 and then I ended up getting bumped up to $10 after my 90-day probation period. And he gives me the address or whatever. I go out there my very first night, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, the shift was from if I'm not mistaken, the shift was from like 7:30 to like 3 or 4 in the morning, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was something like that. All I know is that I would go to work or whatever, it still be daytime, and then when I get off, it's dark as hell outside because it's late, early morning. So I drive out here to the hotel or whatever. Not gonna say what the hotel name was, but I drive out there to the hotel or whatever. Let me tell y'all, the hotel is ducked off. It's ducked off from the freeway. Cause I'm driving there with them, I'm like, okay, cool, I can work out here, you know what I'm saying? It's busy out here, whatever, sitting right here on the freeway, this, that, and the third. But once I did my GPS and I made that U-turn underneath the freeway and I went to the hotel, I was like, oh no, like this hotel is ducked off behind some trees. It's like legit. You would be driving down the freeway and wouldn't even know that the hotel is there unless you actually had directions to go there. Unless you, like, you wouldn't even know that it was there. It's ducked off behind some trees, like legit a hotel sitting in the middle of a forest. That's what it seemed like. My job duties were for me to, when I first get there, of course, record my time. But when I get there, check in with the manager. The manager will be about to get off work by the time that I get there, whatever, but I gotta check in with the manager. They let me know if they need me to do anything extra besides what I come to do at night. And then I check in with the receptionist, because the receptionist is the person that's there all night. And then after I do all that or whatever, I grab my clipboard, and the clipboard had the login sheet. The login sheet is for me to go around the parking lot and to log in all of the cars, the make, the model, and the license plate. And then after I log in the cars, I'm supposed to check every entrance and every exit or whatever in the hotel. The only way that you can get in the hotel after a certain hour is through the actual front door. The sliding doors is in the front of the hotel. You cannot get out any other way. Those emergency exits or those regular exits down the stairs and all the other stuff, whatever, going out the side of the building, going out the back of the building, you cannot do that. You can only leave. You can only come in one way, you can only go out one way. So log the cars, supposed to check every entrance, every exit. So this is one particular night. I drive my butt up to work or whatever, thinking it's just a regular night. Check in with the manager, check in with the receptionist. At this time, me and the receptionist, we didn't build up this little bond, this little relationship, this little friendship or whatever, because I'm 19, she's like 22. She's real close to my age or whatever. So we real cool. We, you know what I'm saying, we chop it up. Sometimes I wouldn't even really sit in my car or whatever, because I'd be inside talking to her, but then after a certain hour I would go outside and sit in my car. So this one night, pull up, do my normal little deals or whatever, chop it up with her for a little bit. And when I go check the entrance and the exit doors, make sure everything locked down or whatever. And then I go outside, log the cars. Mind you, the car is supposed to get logged every 2 hours. This night, they did not get logged every 2 hours. And I'm gonna tell y'all why they did not get logged every 2 hours. So I did my first login. Walked around the parking lot or whatever, logged in the cars or whatever, and then I went and turned in the clipboard to sis, to the receptionist. I call her sis, but yeah, to sis. This particular night or whatever, I was actually standing out in front or whatever. She came outside, she was smoking her cigarette, we was talking for a little bit. It was actually late. It was like, if I'm not mistaken, no, the cars actually got logged twice. I'm not gonna lie, let me start lying. The cars got logged twice, but after that, they didn't. So, we standing outside, she's smoking her cigarette or whatever. Mind you, I told you that this place is ducked off behind some trees. So which means when it gets dark outside, it is like pitch black dark. Like the only thing we can really see is the freeway. We see cars going back and forth on the freeway or whatever, but it's still dark where we at. And they have like the parking lot lights or whatever. So she's standing there, she's smoking her cigarette, we chopping it up or whatever. She finished her cigarette, she going back inside or whatever. Me, I was like, man, it's late, ain't no traffic going on right now, everybody is chilling, everybody in their room. I'm gonna just go sit in my car. Mind y'all, the day that I had came to work, That day I did not get any sleep. This is where you mess up at when you work overnight. If you work overnight, you need to get your rest on today, because even though you think, oh, when I be at home, I be up all night or whatever, I be up to 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning when I'm at home or whatever. You think you can do that when you go to work, but it's a totally different ball game when you at work, because when you're in the comfort of your own home, of course you can be up all night. But when you at work, that's a totally different story. It's a different type of tired that you be when you be at work at 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning. But me thinking, oh, I get to do whatever I need, I can do whatever I want during the day and I can still be up at night. No. Because that day I actually went to go get my nails done with one of my friends. We chilled and we kicked it at her house for a little bit because her mama had cooked and everything. And then I had went home. I called me like a little cat nap. Then I had went to work. Big mistake. Big freaking mistake. I get in my car or whatever, because I'm just like, man, the same cars that I'm logging, it's the same cars that was in here, that was parked in the parking lot a couple hours ago. It is getting late. Everybody is laying it down. Get in my car. Lord, I shouldn't have never did that. I shouldn't have never sat down. I knew I was tired. I shouldn't have never sat down. That was my biggest mistake. So I get to my car. I'm parked right in front of the building. This is the front door right here. The front door is right here. I'm parked right in front of it. I turned on my AC. I turned on my music. I lean my seat back and I'm just on my phone. Around that time, you know what I'm saying, Instagram wasn't really popping like that. It was just Facebook. So I'm on Facebook. I'm just scrolling or whatever, minding my business. Y'all, the last thing I remember is scrolling on Facebook. The next thing that I remember is waking up and it was daytime outside and I had my brother banging on my car window to wake me up. So basically, sis, you done went to sleep. And you've been asleep for a long periodically time, because when you get off, you know damn well it do not be daytime when you get off. So I wake up, I'm frantic. I'm like, what didn't happen? What's going on? And in my mind, it didn't even dawn on me, oh baby, you still on the clock. It was just like, what's wrong? I open up the door. When I open up the door, y'all, this is what I see. I see cops everywhere. I see cop cars with the red and blue lights just flashing. My dad is there, my brother is there, my supervisor is there, the manager for the hotel is there, the receptionist is there, and almost everybody that was staying at that hotel was outside. How I knew is because majority of the guests who stayed at this hotel, I kind of knew, because a lot of them stayed there for a long amount of time or whatever, like I guess like for business purposes or whatever, and like they would speak to me going in and out of the building or whatever. Like I knew some of these people by first name basis. So I get out the car, whatever, I'm asking him what's going on, and like my brother was just like, he was just like, man, he was like, you ain't hear what happened last night? And I was like, no, what happened last night? He was just like, man, somebody broke into everything around here last night. And my dad was looking at me like, yes, like they broke into everything around here last night. Like, you didn't hear nothing? I was like, no, I didn't hear anything. I was just like, can somebody tell me, like, explain to me what happened? Somebody broke into every car in the parking lot. Every car in the parking lot except for my car. So basically what happened was, whoever it was, they probably knew my little schedule of how I do things or whatever. They probably seen how I move around the parking lot or whatever on a regular basis, and they waited until I got in my car to actually do this. Or they were probably just watching me just that night, just to see, you know what I'm saying, when I was gonna get in my car, when I was gonna disappear for a good amount of time for them to do what they did. But it's the moment that I fell asleep, that was just their time to go in and do what they had to do. And basically what happened was they broke into every car. They got to my car, seen that I was in the car asleep or whatever, did not wake me up or anything like that. Didn't even attempt to break into my car. And then they broke into the car right here next to me, left my car where it was, and then they broke into the car right here next to me, and then just went around the whole parking lot. What they did was they took people's GPS systems out of their car. Some people did leave their laptop in their car because, like I said, a lot of people that stayed at the hotel was for business purposes. So they took their GPS, they took their laptops or whatever that was valuable, they took. And then some people still had the little, you know, push thing that you with the radio, the little Popeye thing. They took them or whatever. And girl, it was just chaos everywhere. Like, I'm looking around or whatever, and it's like a police officer standing right here with somebody taking a report. A police officer standing right here taking a report. A police officer standing right here taking a report. It's just police officers like scattered all around this parking lot, talking to different guests from the hotel, taking down what was taken and all the stuff like that. So my brother and my daddy and my supervisor is asking me like, hey, first of all, are you okay? And I'm just like, I'm good or whatever. But they was just like, hey, you didn't hear nothing last night? Like, just nothing dawned on you to like get up and to check? Like, did you fall asleep? Like, what time did you think that you fell asleep? I'm like, bro, I don't know. Like, and honestly, I'm out there telling my supervisor, like, nah, I ain't fall asleep. Nah, I ain't fall asleep. I was like, I was logging these calls or whatever. And I was just like, it could happen when I went inside to go check the entrance and the exit doors or whatever. Just lying. Because I'm trying to keep my little job. Just lying. Girl, you know you fell asleep. Quit your lying. So I'm just out there like, nah, I ain't fall asleep. I promise I ain't fall asleep. I was logging the calls. And he was like, my supervisor's like, so if I look at that clipboard, it's gonna show that you logged the calls at each time you were supposed to. I was like, yeah, yeah. Girl. Sis, if you did not log the calls, it's not gonna be on the paper. If you fell asleep, it's not gonna be on the paper. Like, my supervisor, like, the math is not mathing right now, Crystal. It's nothing is making sense to me right now. If you didn't fall asleep, how did this happen? Because even if you did log all of the cars and go inside and check all the entrances and the exit doors and came out, you would have caught them. Because it's a lot of cars in this parking lot. So I'm just like, man, I swear y'all, I did not fall asleep. My supervisor's like, look, let me go talk to the manager of the building or whatever. Let me see what's going on or whatever. And then he was just like, look, go home. I'm gonna call you later. I was like, okay, cool. So me and my daddy, we was actually still standing there when he walked off. And my dad was like, Crystal, be honest. Like, did you fall asleep? He's like, we can help you out if you be honest and say, yeah, I fell asleep. But if you still gonna stand here and say, no, I didn't, and I was doing my job, something is missing here. Because if you were doing your job, you would have caught them. You being top flight security of the world, Craig, you would have caught them. Like, so, sis, tell us the truth. I was just like, look, bro, like, yes, I fell asleep. Yes. And I was just like, I didn't think that I was going to be asleep that long. I said, I just laid back in the seat. Before I knew it, I was knocked out. And I said, I didn't intend for any of this to happen. So while I'm standing there having this conversation with my father and with my brother, whom I love very much, I'm sitting there having this conversation with my family. And out of nowhere, one of the guests from the hotel, she runs up on me.
Where was your antennas when them niggas was stealing my shit?
And she just like,
what do you mean? You didn't see anybody out here? That's impossible. How do you not see anybody out here? They broke into every freaking car out here and you didn't see anything. Do you know they stole my GPS out of my brand new truck? My windows are broken on my brand new truck. How you call yourself a security guard if you didn't even see them and you didn't even...
I was just like, sis, I understand that your car just got broken into and you upset, but I need you to give me 50 feet. You too close to my face with your finger. Back up. Because if you don't, your car is not going to be the only thing getting broken into out here. I'm going to break into your jaw if you don't back up. Back up. Get your finger out my face. Well, my daddy seen it. I was like, bruh, I'm not playing with this lady. And my dad, he had stepped in between me and her. He was just like, ma'am, look, my daughter don't have nothing to do with what happened out here or whatever. It was a mishap. Everything that was stolen can be replaced or whatever. Your window can be replaced. My daughter was out here in the middle of a robbery. Anything could have happened to her. We understand your stuff is broken into and it got taken or whatever, but please, let's all have cool heads about this. We not trying to have no more problems out here. Like, just back up. Like, if you want to talk to her, you can talk to her, but what you're not gonna do is point your finger all in her face and get all in her face. I was just like, yeah, like, you could talk to me and say whatever it is that you want to say, but sis, you spitting. Like, if I feel spit on my face from your mouth, then baby, that means you too close to me. Back up. You barking up the wrong tree. I will two-piece you. You barking up the wrong tree. She said her little piece and decided she wants to walk off or whatever. And then the police officers was telling her, like, ma'am, you have to calm down. We understand that everybody out here is upset or whatever. It's not the security guard's fault, because honestly, even if she would have caught them, cars still would have been broken into or whatever, even if she would have called 911. Like, the car still, some of the cars would have still gotten broken into. Not all of them, but some of them. So anyway, I goes home or whatever. A couple days go by or whatever. My supervisor calls me. And besides, he was just like, look, we're just gonna go ahead and let you go or whatever. He was just like, this is too big of a loss. He was just like, we're actually messing up relationships that I have with these companies, because of course some of these companies, they need security at their stores or whatever the case may be or whatever, and they reach out to these security companies, and these security companies send their employees out there, and they're expected to do a job. And if you are not expected to do that job, then they're going to either replace you with another person from the security company, or they're going to replace the security company altogether. And he's like, we're ruining relationships or whatever with the people that I've been in business with for years, and just that and third, and they took a big loss at the hotel and blah 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 and stuff like that or whatever. So he was just like, you need to bring me your uniform or whatever. Girl, at this time I was so mad I was getting fired. I was just like, I'm not bringing you this uniform. Like, if you want it, like, you can come and get it. Because at the time, the security company that I was working for was out on the north side, so that means I would have to drive all the way out there or whatever and give him the uniform. I was just like, bro, you're not gonna fire me and then make me drive out there to bring you the uniform. I'm not doing it. Like, when I was 19 years old, like, I was an asshole. I was an asshole. But like, at the time, like, I was just being young and dumb or whatever, and I was just like snapping back, not realizing that I could possibly like ruin the relationship that my father has with this security guy or whatever, with this supervisor, because he's been doing him for years. And like, that's embarrassing for your parents too, because it's just like, okay, cool, we hired your son. Your son is a great worker or whatever, he does what he's supposed to do, and then we hired your daughter or whatever, and then this is what she do, and then had the audacity to get an attitude with us. Like, that's how you raise her? But that's not how my parents raised me or whatever. It's just that my attitude has just always been spicy. Like, I would, like, when I was a baby, all the way up till I think I was like 13, I was such a quiet kid. It was moving to the freaking south side, like I told y'all at the beginning of this video. I was cool when I was staying where I grew up and where I was raised. But when I moved to the freaking south side, it just ruined me, bro. Like, I swear, from 14 all the way until now, like, my attitude has been spicy since then. It's moving to the freaking south side. But anyway, like I said, at that time I wasn't thinking about, oh, like, yo, he knows your dad, like, you tripping, like, chill out. But at the time, girl, I was just mad. I was just like, man, if you want this uniform, you gonna come get it. I'm not gonna drive all the way out there and then you fire me, man, nah. And he was like, well, if you don't bring me the uniform, I'm gonna take it out your last check. And I was like, you ain't taking nothing out of my check, bro. I work for that for that money or whatever. Like, you're not gonna take nothing out of my check. He was like, well, if you don't bring me the uniform, like I said, I'm gonna take it out of your check. And I was just like, sir, you're not taking anything out of my goddamn check. My daddy calls me. He was just like, look, I don't know what your problem is. You need to go take that man his goddamn uniform. He was just like, why are you on the phone arguing with him and you the one who got fired over something that you did? He's like, take that man his uniform. He said, you know what? He better than me, because if I was your supervisor, and my dad has been supervisors for security companies or whatever. My dad is actually a supervisor right now at a security company. But he was just like, if that was me and I was your supervisor, I wouldn't even be on the phone arguing with you. I would have told you bring my uniform. And the moment that you told me no, I'm like, okay, cool. I'll mail you your check. And the moment we get off that phone or whatever, I take that little deposit for your uniform out that check, and I would have mailed it to you, and you would have been looking at it like, god damn, that man really took that money for that uniform. Oh Lord. But anyways, yes, like, I fell asleep on the job and they robbed the entire fucking place. They broke into every car. And I was like, bro, that wasn't even necessary. Like, bro, you just can break into a few, girl. They broke into every car on that lot, broke every window on that lot, except for mine. I'm out there in the middle of a robbery. Didn't even know I was in the middle of a freaking robbery. And honestly, I really wasn't even supposed to be doing that job. I really wasn't even supposed to be on that post. My daddy had even said it. My brother had even said it. Because it was just like, that post is really for armed security guards. I'm 19 years old. I don't have a gun. It was just me out there. Like, just me. My uniform, and that's it. I don't have nothing on me. Around that time, I was not carrying no pepper spray. Around that time, I was not carrying no gun like I am now. Like, I'm just out there. So if anything was to happen and I'm at this hotel that's just ducked off in the middle of nowhere, then what am I supposed to do? Just call 911 and just hope and pray that they show up before something happens to me, before something happens to the guests? I wasn't even supposed to be out there by myself. That post was not intended for me. But I think that was low-key like a little spanking, like a, oh, you did bad at the sports authority or whatever, so I'm gonna send you somewhere else or whatever, so you can get your act together type of thing. I feel like that was kind of like a little spanking, even though my daddy said it wasn't. But I feel like it was kind of like low-key, like a punishment. So I wouldn't, so I can like feel bad for what I did at the sports authority, even though I still don't feel bad about what I did at the sports authority. Baby, if we turn back the hands of time, I'm gonna do it like I did it the first time or whatever. I'm still running, and this time I would have ran to my car. Like, and Samantha would have been the first one to get popped because she was in there telling them people not to do what I asked them to do. She was really trying to stop me from getting them from going to the parking lot. She was trying to get them to stay inside. So you mean to tell me you gonna get them to stay inside from where the noises come from that could possibly be gunshots? Amazing manager. Amazing manager. Freaking Samantha. Like I said, I always wanted to do her in. Like, I always wanted to do that lady in. But anyway, I hope that y'all enjoyed this story time or whatever. It's something that I always kiki with my friends about, because they always laugh and they were like, bro, how could you fall asleep in a car and then like just let everybody break, like, bro, you a terrible security guard. And he was like, bro, I would ask you to secure nothing. But I always sit down and kiki with my friends about this. I sit down and kiki with my brother, with my daddy about this or whatever, because Lord knows that my dad was like, out of all the years that I done security and your brother done security, and then here you come, you just screw it up within a matter of 3 months. Oh, but anyways, hopefully y'all enjoyed the story time or whatever. If you got all the way to the end of this video, no skips, no pauses, no nothing, you rocked out with me all the way to the end, I highly appreciate it. Do me a favor, click the like button and subscribe to my channel. It's a lot of y'all who watch my videos who are not subscribed. Just go ahead, click the subscribe button. Baby, if you got all the way to the end of this video, apparently it's something that you like about the video. Something that you like about me. You might as well click it. It's free. And not only that, y'all, tell y'all homegirls about me. Tell your homeboys about me. Tell your auntie, your uncle, your sister, your brother, your co-worker, people at church, whatever. Let them know about my channel, sis. Let them know about my channel. Spread the love. Spread me around. Okay, anyways, I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye, y'all.